Right now, in 2025, there are 4 countries where you can legally walk away with a second passport that costs you nothing. Not a cent lost, sometimes even a profit. Sounds impossible. It isn't. While governments are doubling fees and tightening citizenship rules, these 4 loopholes are still alive. The question is, how long before they disappear? Because once they close, you'll be stuck paying hundreds of thousands for the same passport you could have gotten for free today. The world isn't getting safer. Taxes are rising, governments are tightening their grip, and once open borders are shutting down. They're about survival. A second identity can mean the difference between being trapped or walking free when laws change overnight. Most people think it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy that freedom. But a handful of countries are still handing out second passports that can be nearly free, if you know where to look and you act before the loopholes vanish. So let's pull back the curtain and expose the 4 easiest $0 second passports you can still claim. Turkey is the crown jewel of the so-called free passport routes, but only if you play it smart. On paper, the deal is simple. According to the Global Residency Index, all you need to do is buy at least $400,000 worth of property, hold it for 3 years, and claim your Turkish passport. After 3 years, you're allowed to sell the property. And here's the kicker: you keep the passport forever. Sounds easy, but here's where people lose everything. Developers in Istanbul's outer districts dangle glossy brochures of 50-story towers in neighborhoods surrounded by unfinished construction and illegal housing. Buyers snap them up, only to watch their investment collapse by 50 to 70%. Those who jumped too fast ended up with citizenship and a financial nightmare. The loophole lies in buying second-hand property. Real homes in established neighborhoods where locals think in dollars and euros, not in the sinking Turkish lira. Istanbul's central districts, international hubs like Beşiktaş or Kadıköy, are where property holds dollar value even as the lira collapses. Investors who choose wisely often resell after 3 years for the same amount, sometimes even at a profit. The passport? Essentially free. And this passport is no throwaway. While not as powerful as an EU document, Turkey offers visa-free access to much of Asia, Latin America, and key business hubs. More importantly, it's a strong complement to Western passports, opening doors in regions where American or European documents raise eyebrows. But here's the danger. Demand is rising. Regional investors from the Middle East and Asia are flooding Istanbul with cash, driving up prices. The supply of solid, second-hand properties is shrinking fast. Each day you wait, the chance of finding a property that pays for itself gets slimmer. Turkey's program looks like a loophole carved out of chaos. But like all loopholes, it won't stay open forever. If you want to turn real estate into a free passport, this is one of the last doors left unlocked. The passport program doesn't make headlines, but that's exactly why it's dangerous to ignore. For $300,000 in real estate, you can claim Egyptian citizenship, hold the property for 5 years, and then sell. Just like Turkey, the passport is yours for life, even after you cash out. The secret lies in where you buy. Egypt is flooded with desert developments, endless new cities springing up in sand with glossy promises of modern living. But oversupply makes many of these properties worthless when it comes time to sell. The trap is real. Buy in the wrong place and you'll bleed money. The opportunity is in Cairo's established neighborhoods, Zamalek, Garden City, and New Cairo. Sands of Wealth shows that here, property can go for as little as $1,300 per square meter, some of the cheapest livable real estate in the world. These aren't ghost towns. They're vibrant districts where wealthy Egyptians, diplomats, and international executives live. And demand is climbing. Families that struck it rich abroad are coming home and buying in the best neighborhoods. The math is stark. Buy in the right area, hold for 5 years, resell to local demand, and you walk away whole, or even ahead. The Egyptian pound is unstable, but buyers in these prime areas think in dollar terms. You park your money, protect your capital, and collect a second passport that cost you nothing. Now, Egypt's passport isn't going to unlock Europe or North America. It's not a Plan A, but as a Plan D, it diversifies your identity and protects against uncertainty. It's an insurance policy that costs nothing if you play it right. Here's the ominous part. Bureaucratic knowledge is patchy. Even local officials sometimes misunderstand the program, leading to confusion and delays. If you don't know the rules, the exact property types that qualify, you could end up stuck. But if you do it right, Egypt becomes one of the cheapest second citizenships on the planet. The risk is real, but so is the payoff. If you're finding these hidden passport strategies eye-opening, hit subscribe right now. Every week I reveal the countries, the loopholes, and the timelines before they disappear. Don't wait until these doors slam shut. Jordan's program is one of the quietest in the world, and that's what makes it powerful. You won't find glossy billboards or flashy developers selling it. Instead, the government offers something deceptively simple. Invest roughly $1 million in government bonds, hold them for several years, and walk away with a Jordanian passport. Unlike risky real estate markets, bonds are clear-cut. You hand your money to the government, they hold it, and if all goes as promised, they pay it back. During that time, your citizenship is locked in. No second guessing, no moving across borders, no language tests. Just cash parked in one of the most stable countries in the Middle East. Why does this matter? The Jordanian dinar is among the strongest currencies on Earth, tightly pegged to the US dollar. That peg means minimal currency risk. Your money isn't evaporating like in collapsing economies. For once, the free passport really can be free. But here's the darker truth. Bonds only work if the government pays them back. Jordan is stable, but it isn't oil-rich like its neighbors. Its economy depends heavily on aid and regional trade. The risk here isn't a housing bubble. It's political. A crisis, a war next door, or a government cash crunch could upend the repayment plan. Still, the passport stays with you, and in a region often engulfed in turmoil, Jordan stands out as relatively steady, a quiet refuge where others are burning. That alone makes the passport valuable. You won't get EU-level travel freedom, but you gain access to a second identity in one of the most strategically important crossroads of the Middle East. Jordan is not for everyone. Most Westerners look at it and shrug. But for those willing to lock in capital for a few years, it's a low-maintenance way to pick up a free passport. A second identity that may one day matter more than anyone expects. St. Lucia. Now we shift from the Middle East to the Caribbean, where St. Lucia offers one of the most overlooked free passport strategies still alive in 2025. While most Caribbean programs require a flat donation of $200,000 or more, St. Lucia's bond option quietly lets you slip through for far less pain. Here's how it works. Buy $300,000 worth of government bonds. Hold them for 5 years and then cash out. Unlike a donation, you're not burning the money. You get it back, minus fees, and you keep the passport forever. On the surface, this looks like the safest play of all. The Eastern Caribbean dollar is pegged to the US dollar, so there's no major currency risk. No shady real estate deals, no overpriced condos sitting empty. Just bonds, backed by the government, locked in place until the timer runs out. But here's the danger. Time is running out. The Caribbean has already started doubling prices to meet EU demands. St. Lucia resisted longer than its neighbors, but in 2025, that resistance is cracking. The donation option already climbed from $100,000 to $200,000, and the bond path may soon follow. Once it does, the last truly free Caribbean option disappears, and don't underestimate this passport. St. Lucia grants visa-free access to over 140 countries, including the EU's Schengen zone. For global mobility, it dwarfs Egypt and Jordan. For many, this is the one worth fighting for. But again, the clock is ticking. If you're thinking about a Caribbean second passport without donating your money, St. Lucia is the final window. And like every loophole in this game, it's closing fast. Every one of these so-called free passport doors is narrowing. Turkey's real estate prices are climbing. Egypt's bureaucracy is tightening. Jordan's stability depends on forces it can't fully control. And St. Lucia is under direct pressure from the EU to double costs and cut options. In 2025, the word free is disappearing from the second citizenship market. The longer you wait, the more expensive or impossible it becomes. Governments don't warn you before they change the rules. One morning, the loophole is gone, and your chance at a second identity vanishes with it. And that's the danger. One morning, the loophole is gone, and with it, your chance at a free second passport. Before you go, here's something extra. I booked my last trip to Cancun for half the usual price. And no, I'm not gatekeeping. I used Expedia, and my affiliate link below gives you the same deals. No extra cost, just real savings. Grab the full free toolkit here. https://northuisco.com/book. I'm also grateful for your time. If you appreciate the hours I spend digging into this, you can buy me a coffee. It fuels the research and lets me keep these videos coming. Which passport option surprised you most? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't miss the next one. Live like royalty. $1,000 month life in the Philippines. Want to escape legally and live free? Subscribe now. I cover the exact countries every week.